to order of the Historic District Review Board. We have a roll call.
Right?
Tom?
Lester,
James.
we have established a quorum. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any public comment?
We do not.
Okay. Has everyone had a chance to review the previous minutes?
Yes.
Are there any corrections or concerns?
I make a motion that we accept them.
So moved.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
The minutes are approved. Yes.
Can someone please approve the agenda format?
I make a motion we approve the agenda format.
All approved?
Aye.
Do we have to do that every time?
Yeah.
You actually can just approve the consent agenda, which approves the format in the minutes.
Approve everything together.
Unfinished business, none. New business. Fence installations, none. Modifications to approved certificate of appropriateness. 110 Tazewell Avenue.
Good evening. Thanks, everyone, for coming out tonight, board and applicants and staff. Okay, you saw this application first on January 3rd, 2024. We are only looking at now the front steps, the columns. As you can see, the applicant, which is Robin and Scott Sims from Coastal Craftsman Builders, the owners George and Sierra Manners at 110 Tazewell Avenue. They would like to, for the front and porch side steps, add wrought iron or aluminum balustrades. And in the middle of the front steps, they would also like to, that's where they'd like to add the railing. And for the, just on the sides, right? Okay.
Yeah, I had a question. Go ahead.
So just on the sides, not on the middle like the old picture inside. So, and also on the driveway, they would like to extend the pavers to go to the rear of the house and then continue with shells. Previously, what approved was for the pavers from the front and then the shells, so.
Can you tell me what was previously?
Sure, they actually added in the COA that was previously approved, and this did not have any railings for the front steps. They were going to repoint the brick pillars, and the steps, which are now wood, were going to be brick. But now they do want to add railing. Am I correct?
Now I'm sorry, what?
Now they would like to add railing. And they did find a
Still
historic
steps.
picture. Yes. And the applicant representatives are here if you'd like to ask them more questions. Okay?
Yes.
And again, this is only for the modification to the steps.
So do you have a sample of what the rail's gonna look like? I
We
can't-
showed you a picture in there, I believe. Is it aluminum rail?
Yeah, I
It was
mean,
not
all
real
I
clear.
can't really see it. I tried to press on the other little pictures, but it won't.
It looks exactly
mean-
like a wrought iron rail that you would typically see, that just a AZAC brand now has an aluminum one.
You say exactly what, is it turned, is it flat? That's
No,
what
it
I
would just
couldn't
be
tell.
flat. It would just be flat baluster and just a smooth, skinny little rail coming down to a small little newel post.
What's the size?
And the picture with it in the middle is not.
That was from 1991. That just showed that it did have a wrought iron rail originally in the center of the staircase. So, or maybe not originally, but it was in 1991 there. We want to put them on the sides, not in the middle.
And it's gonna have rails?
It'll have the other rails that we got approved for on the main porch, the turn balusters that we have to do and all that stuff. But just down the railings for the staircase itself is just something a lot skinnier, a little slimmer looking, which is very common in town.
I have
So-
not.
Because a lot of the houses didn't have rails, and then they make you put a rail up, and that's probably the least.
So
So it
there's
would
not
look
gonna
like,
be
it
one
would look
and
like
the same.
these? The-
It'd be similar to that, yeah, except just on an angle coming down the steps on the sides, right.
But that's the AZAC porch railings.
But these, they make them on an angle as well.
So the broad,
It's not-
But the main porch is gonna still have the big giant turn balusters you guys wanted me to put up there.
but the one you want to put on the steps is not AZAC, it's wrought iron.
Well, wrought iron or AZAC is an aluminum brand that looks exactly
Okay.
like a wrought iron rail, that's all.
I guess when you say AZAC, I think of the one.
No, that's just
Yeah.
the name brand of it. It's an aluminum rail,
Okay. Black.
What's
black or white.
What's the dimension of the rail, the vertical parts?
They're skinny, they're,
This picture is exactly what we're using. I know it's hard to see, but it's not real right out there.
This is a picture of one that we put on
Okay, good.
This was,
Yeah, she's looking at it right now, I think.
I mean, it's gonna be, I'm assuming the same width as those, just go down.
Are those the same as you're going to use on the porch?
No. The porch, you guys wanted me to stick with the turn balusters, even though they didn't want to do that. They wanted to use the square ones.
Comments?
By code, you have to have a grasp, some type of rail down the steps, but they didn't want those big, giant, chunky things coming down there. Especially when you have brick little sidewalls coming up with the steps on them.
So the sidewalls will stay.
They're gonna get put back up as well.
If you have turn rails around the porch, I would prefer to see turn rails on the railing as well, rather than those straight thin ones.
Right.
That's doable.
Perhaps. I'd
I
have to s-
know that they make a,
Yeah, they do that in a wrought
Spiral.
iron for sure. I'm assuming AZAC probably does as well.
they do.
But they would be spiral, they wouldn't be like a turned or whatever.
I
It just wouldn't be
understand.
square.
I just think the perfectly straight square ones
Mm-hmm.
would look awkward with the other railing.
Mm-hmm.
Just my comment. Anyone else?
No, I agree with you. I'm just trying to picture how much of it you're gonna see.
Not much, because you're gonna have those brick, they kind of step as you go up, so the railing will be inside of that, so it'll be almost hidden, really, to a point. You'll see partials of the pickets,
But it connects to the porch.
but it'll connect to a little small post at the top and then one at the bottom.
Go down, there's a picture. That,
This, okay.
that's the picture you were showing.
Yeah.
So it is almost the same as the railing around the, well, no, you're gonna have the turn. But it would have been the same thing you would use as a porch railing.
You could definitely use those as a very slim, yeah, it's a nice look, but on this
It's-
particular
it's
application,
functional though, right?
oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's, but it's really going to be on the inside of the wall.
Yes, on both sides.
If I may interject, do the guidelines speak to turn rails, turn spindles on the stair rails? Do the guidelines speak to that?
No, they don't.
Just a simple metal rail or compatible Richmond rail.
What is it? And that, what is a Richmond rail?
Again, I would need to go back and look at the guidelines, but I actually didn't bring it with me today.
I think we did, and we found that it was basically just a straight.
Yeah, I
I
looked
know
it
there
up.
are some in here, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing in the guidelines that says you can't do it.
Right.
I guess
Wow, I
I'm
like your
thinking
book.
more of a aesthetic look,
I like your book.
Right.
Oh, thanks. They gave it.
but,
She's got the guidelines.
yeah, no, there's nothing
There's nothing, I just
that
read
says,
it.
yeah.
I think we, I thought they showed a picture.
And the other part was extending the driveway?
Yeah, and they're talking about doing that. They may not even do that. I mean, there's a cost associated with that as well. So right now, they said, well, while we're asking for something, we might as well ask for that too, just in case we decide we want to do it. So,
So you were just flipping what it was, right? It was.
well, originally it was going to be pavers from the street to the front of the house, and then shell from the front of the house all the way to the back alley. They were just thinking it might look nicer to run it to the back of the house, and then take the shell from the back of the house to the alley. But when I told her how much that might actually be, she's like, well, we might not want to do this. So I'm not sure if it's going to happen or not, but they wanted to get permission to be able to do either or, which I really didn't think was a big deal either, but it really doesn't have anything to do with the house. It's just a yard thing, so.
And there's nothing in the guidelines that says they can't do
Right.
No, it's very ambiguous, what you can do, what you can't do. The only thing is aesthetically, what it's gonna look like.
it. The railing.
Right. So, I don't think you can see much of it from looking at this picture here,
Well, what's there?
because it goes on the inside of these walls.
Right.
It'll go in.
Right.
So
You're
it's
not-
almost
You're going to see
invisible.
like the cap of it, and you're barely going to see the pickets, no matter what they are, so.
Right.
Can I ask what happened to the porch?
Boom.
Really?
Yeah, it's gone.
Because I thought you were just replacing the roof and.
Oh, it's,
It's
the whole
not.
thing's gone. So,
Excuse me, sorry to interrupt. This is just about the modification tonight for 110 Tazewell.
yeah, they're all.
Why are we piecemealing this project?
Because it's a change from the original. They changed the
Modifying his application.
It's not a,
I did this 3 times that night, so.
It's fun coming in here.
It's what?
It's fun coming in here. I missed you. I had to come back.
You're the only person who would ever say that, I'll tell you.
No.
It's like going to the dentist.
That's right. I like that too, though.
Yeah.
I'm into that.
Sometimes as you go through the project, you find things that would be better done a different way.
Correct.
And you come back and ask for
Yeah,
one.
most people just do it, they don't even come back.
Well, I'm.
See that?
I
See, I'm a-
praise
I'm
you
a-
for
that.
coming
That's
back.
right.
I think the rail is no problem.
Right.
Because it's inconspicuous, you can't even see it. You're gonna leave the concrete and the brick parts and just change the steps.
Yeah, all that's being rebuilt.
Right,
Those piers were falling out too, so all that's taken down. We're gonna put everything back, brand new steps, put the bricks back in for the sidewalls, and we'll put the caps back on.
Right.
Everything will look back the way it was, except it's gonna be brick steps instead of wood steps.
And the portico.
And the portico's going back too.
Yeah.
the portico is.
The
really-
portico was actually holding the roof, believe me.
We voted
Really?
on
When that thing came out, a third of the roof fell down.
So are there any other questions regarding the railing and the driveway?
I make a motion.
I second it, that we approve.
I make a motion that we accept the railing and the extension of the driveway with pavers and stone or
Shelley.
shelling as requested.
I second that. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for coming back.
Now, I do have to say, since this was such a big project, if anyone has any huge questions, if Mr. Sims doesn't mind answering them and you would like to get them answered, you
Can
can
you say
ask.
that again?
If you have any questions about what's going on with the project, if I can ask Mr. Sims if he can give you a quick summary of what's been done first.
Yeah, I think the big question was, we saw all the bricks down.
And what happened? Yeah, there was
But
like,
knowing you're gonna put them all back, just the way they were, I'm happy.
You
might have Okay.
noticed some of the bricks on the pillars even coming down because whoever painted all the graffiti on the walls inside also painted the back side of those bricks blue,
oh,
and it won't clean off. So we're replacing some of those bricks.
Wow.
I knew her.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Moving right along, this is for 6C1, 612 Pine Street. The applicant is the same as the owner, Howard Hellenbrook. And he is here, and you may be wondering, and everyone may be wondering why you are seeing this one. The applicant is seeking to replace 2 existing vinyl 9/1 windows that have grills between the glass with new vinyl 9/1 windows that have grills between the glass on the 2-story single-family dwelling. The application also includes replacing an existing wood fence with a new wood picket fence. That's why you're seeing this, is because he's asking for grills between the glass, which is no longer acceptable with the new guidelines. The applicant is here. If you look on page 2, it does have the materials. He's using Harmony 100 Series 9/1, or he would like to. Double hung vinyl windows. The trim will be pine, and the fence will be wooden pickets. If you have any questions or any suggestions, the applicant is here.
Applicant.
And if you'll state your name for the record, that would be great.
Hi, my name's Howard Hellenbrook.
Correct. But all the existing windows on the rest of the house have the mullions between the glass, is that
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
So you're just replacing 2 out of the whole house?
And that house, and then there's 2 of them. One is for 612, one is for
Right,
640.
just
Same,
this house right
same
now.
deal, though, yeah.
So the rationale is you want to put the same windows back in?
So they look the
So
same.
they'll match the other ones?
Right. And we don't even believe that we're going to affect the trim, but we put it in there just in case, because they're replacement windows and they just pop in.
So our guidelines do say that they have to be on the outside?
Right, the mullion.
Correct. But I think we could make an exception for this because all the other windows are
Yeah.
different. So if you put it on the outside, it won't match the other windows.
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
The only problem I have with that, it sets a precedent.
I don't think so. I think each case is individual, and if there is a legitimate reason, we have the authority to make exceptions. If it was a new house, it'd be different.
And staff can assist in a preparation of a motion so that we ensure it is singular and unique to the circumstances of this property.
Okay? If you would, please.
So it sounds like you're looking for a motion to approve the application as presented, to allow the replacement of 2 windows with the grills being between the windows. And this is an approval outside the scope of the guidelines, but again, we feel this is consistent to maintain the integrity look of the entire house, since only 2 windows are being replaced this time, and all of the windows on this property have the grills between the windows, and so we want them to remain consistent in look at this time.
Yes.
Do you agree with that?
Don't ask me to repeat that.
We also have to talk about the fence.
Yes.
So we can deal with the window motion first.
Okay. I would like to make that motion, what you said.
And I'll second.
All in
In
favor?
favor.
Nay. You still win.
Okay.
I just think it sets a precedent that it's going to come
And
back
the
and bite us.
The fence.
Yes.
Is the fence going to be painted white, or is it staying
I think I'm going to probably leave it natural.
natural?
Unless, I mean, I'd rather not paint it because then it's a maintenance issue, but
Yes. And the other fence that you have there is,
natural.
it's natural?
So it'll match exactly what you have.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much, the pictures, I think, are there. I went to Home Depot and
Okay. I have
fine.
Good wood rather than
Keep
plywood.
going. Oh, you got it. Should be okay. Okay. It's wood.
So is there any difference in the fence that's there and the one that you're replacing
I
it with?
don't believe so. I mean, do the pictures, they looked, when I looked at them, they looked like
Yeah, I was
identical,
looking
but I can't guarantee.
for a picture of the existing fence. Maybe it's on the second. I don't,
Is it, I think I may have a picture
I
of
was
it.
gonna say, I may have it on my phone.
That,
Excuse me, it was just, we'd like to have the applicants put everything on, but actually the fence would have been approved administratively if not for the windows.
okay, that's what I was wondering. If it was the
Yes.
same thing, why are we?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you
That's
for
why.
answering that
You're
question.
welcome.
Is it 3 foot tall?
No, yeah.
3.
If it's within everything, it's just because it would have been approved administratively, but because of the windows, we didn't want him to have to pay two different fees, put everything on one application.
So
I mean,
there's,
the existing fence is just collapsing. in front of the
Yes.
house.
Yeah,
I would just want to go back with something that's almost identical to what I had.
sure.
so it,
So it's
make a motion about the fence.
Yeah, I'll make a motion be approved.
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so the fence is approved and the windows are approved.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. I know you have one more.
Yes.
Okay, this is for 6C2, 614 Pine Street. Again, the applicant and owner is Howard Hellenbrook. And you will see this time, the applicant is seeking to replace 6 of the existing vinyl 9/1 windows that have grills between the glass with new vinyl 9/1 windows that have grills in between the glass on the 2-story single-family dwelling. If you go to page 2, you'll see the proposed materials. Harmony 100 series, 9/1 double hung vinyl with grills between the glass. And the trim, if need be, will be pine.
Now, the location of these windows, are they just kind of all over or are they all?
Yeah.
The kitchen window during one of the storms, the one that hit the park really bad, we had a tree come down and crack one of the panes. So that one definitely needs to be replaced. Then the other two are, the one in the upstairs bedroom facing Pine Street. The kitchen windows face Washington. The upstairs bedroom window is on Pine Street, and one of them, it keeps, when the wind blows, it just keeps popping the window out. So that needs to be replaced. Then the other ones are fogged, and that's why they're being
So
replaced.
they're all on different sides?
Yeah, and then the other one's between the two houses, between 612 and 614.
So,
So do you have to read that thing in that Katie,
so basically what you're doing is putting in new windows with the mullion in the middle between the glass.
Correct,
Which we just gave you the exception for one house to do 2 windows.
correct.
So
Your question?
I don't understand why you can't buy windows that have the mullion on the outside.
Well, you can, but they won't match. They'll kind of stick out like a sore thumb in comparison to the other windows.
They're all on one side, I could see it, but they're all over. So this window will have it between the glass, this one won't, this one will, this one won't. They'll look different from the street.
Okay. Maybe I'm missing the big picture. That the one house he just finished, we gave him permission to do 2. Now he wants to do 9 on another house.
6.
6 with the same. Are you mixing and matching? You're not replacing all the windows, just some?
No, yeah. We replaced all the windows about 18 years ago. And these windows, like I said, one is because of the storm, and then, the windows that we put in originally were cheaper grade windows. And these are going to be nicer quality windows.
So it's just a few here and there.
Yes.
If I may, to the applicant, approximately how many windows are on your house as a whole?
Okay.
It looks about 15, but I don't have one.
I was going to say
for the
15 to 20.
15 to 20. So that gives you some idea, so not all of the windows are being replaced.
The first motion that Katie made. Can you read that again, Katie?
Yeah, 1 second. Okay, roughly as I translate. So you would be looking for a motion to approve the replacement of 6 windows, to have the grill between the windows, even though the guidelines call for the grill, or as you call it, the button, I want to make sure I'm using the right terms, to be placed on the outside of the windows. However, the HDRB finds it is necessary to approve as requested to maintain a consistent look on the house where all the rest of the windows on the house have the grill or button between the windows, and the applicant is not replacing all the windows, but only replacing, in this case, 6 windows on this home.
I make a motion to accept what Katie just said.
I second it.
All in favor?
Um,
Thank you.
All right. Hey, that's okay. When you make exceptions,
Okay, again, we are at 6D1, 535 Jefferson Avenue. The applicants are Barnett and Vanessa Thurgood, and I do believe Mr. Barnett is here. The applicant is seeking to construct a 130 by 4 square foot deck and a 144 square foot paver patio with a covered wooden pergola and a 16 square foot outdoor shower that will be located on the deck, and this will be in the rear of their property. On page 2, you will see the proposed materials. For the deck, it is pressure-treated wood. For the balustrades, it is a Beretta Outdoor Living Bello Premier Series in white vinyl with the balusters of a colonial style. The steps will be salt-treated wood. The patio will be of a paved stone, of a decora stone, and the dimensions are listed. The pergola will be wood, and the outdoor shower was not specified. But again, this is all in the rear. As you see in the application, there is also the existing pictures of the home. And on back of that, you will see the materials list, and down at the right bottom, you will see the proposed pergola covering, just in case you all didn't see it, and all specified materials are there. And if you have any questions, the applicant is here just in case you have questions.
How wide is that lot?
It is, survey,
It's so small.
sorry, here it is, it's 23,
23 feet wide.
yes.
It's illegal.
It's illegal non-conforming as stated in our zoning points, so. And everything is approved, lot coverage and everything, so.
What is the
I
pergola
have some
made from?
questions, yeah.
Wood. I'll let him come up, if you'll just state your name for the record.
Barnett Thorogood.
Good evening.
Okay. Barnett Thorogood. Nice to meet you.
Is the shower stall actually on the deck, or is it like the deck's around it? I couldn't tell.
It's on the deck.
It is on.
It's on the deck.
And the shed stays?
The shed stays. Yes, ma'am.
Katie, I assume that zoning calculated the ratio of hardscape, and that's okay. Okay.
I'm sure you have what's the height of the pergola? Is that on here somewhere? I'm sorry.
I don't.
No, I was just trying to.
It's a regular standard pergola. It's a Home Depot brand that you put together, so it's a regular pergola. It's nothing hand built. Yes, it's not. I think they build one size.
You got the kit,
I got the kit. Yes, ma'am.
they're 8 feet. I know you gave square footage, but what are the actual dimensions?
Of the
Like 8 by 8, 10 by,
what the
of the pergola?
The pergola is, if I'm not mistaken, it should be up there. I think is eight, I think it's about 12 by 12. I think it's 12 by 12. It's 12 by 12 I got up there. Yes.
So a pergola is considered a structure, correct?
Yes, under zoning, it's a structure, yes.
I have no other questions, anyone?
No, let's go. No, for once, I don't have a lot of questions.
I make a motion that we approve the application as.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I have just one question, just out of curiosity. How are you gonna finish it? Are you gonna seal it or stain it, or?
I'm gonna stain it, but the rails, I think, if I'm not mistaken, the rails I put up there are,
They come that way?
they come, yes,
Yeah, you usually do, yeah, okay,
yes, okay. All right, thank you.
thank you.
Okay, we're at 62, 122 Peach Street. The applicant here is Peacock Cottage LLC. They're representing the owners, Peachy King Getaway LLC. The applicant is seeking to replace the existing front porch brick steps with wood treads and PVC risers, and replace the existing front porch step balustrade with
Sorry.
with wood balustrade custom made to match the original historic design of the home, which there was a picture included in the packet, and remove an existing 168.6 square foot, one-story side addition on the two-story single-family dwelling, and then construct a new two-story, 156.6 square feet side addition and a 26.81 side porch on the two-story single-family dwelling. The materials are listed on page 2. As I said, the applicant, representing Peacock Cottage LLC, Claudine Pierce, is here if you have any questions. The doors that are listed for the side is a Therma-Tru Smooth Star composite, which will have one light and 2 panels. The rear will have 1 panel over 1 panel. The windows will be Marvin Lake composite, double hung, 1/1. The roof for the addition will be asphalt shingles, and the side porch will be a standing seam metal. The addition siding will be a James Hardy Prime 6-inch exposure. The trim will be AZAC. The foundation will be brick and will match the existing. And now we get to the front porch step balustrade. As I said, they will be wood custom turned. And the steps will be wood treads with PVC risers. The side porch flooring will be tongue and groove TimberTech AZAC, 3.5 inches. The ceiling will be beadboard. The posts will be turned. I didn't get the material on that, but Ms. Pierce is here. The balustrades will be the same wood custom turn, no post, and with a square baluster.
Can I have my book back?
Yes.
Is the only question I have is,
Please state your name for the record.
Good evening. Hi, Claudine Pierce. How are you?
just have one
Sure.
question for Katie. Katie, I thought the exposure was 7 inches.
I'm sorry, for which item?
The siding exposure, I thought was 7 inches.
I can't remember in the guideline book, so.
I didn't find that.
I don't think it specifically
It didn't
states
state
it
it.
in the
I
book.
couldn't find where it stated it.
That was
Sorry.
something we talked about.
Yes.
I'll look through your guideline. Hang on.
Okay.
What
but
is the existing
there's
siding
a-
on the rest of the house?
It's vinyl,
It's fine.
correct, yes. Covering, we are not really sure what,
So the addition will be a different material.
correct. They don't want to go back with vinyl.
I couldn't find it.
What part of it is PVC? I just heard the,
All it is the trim around the windows. So there'll be 5/4 by 4, 5/4 by 6, historic sill on the bottom and a crown on the top, which will match the existing window trim that actually still exists.
The existing window, do they have a sill?
And she did say,
We are going back with the AZEC historic sill on all the new windows.
Okay,
And
so
the
they're-
existing windows, if you look, they do have a sill. All of the windows in the
This is
house,
one that I'm looking at.
yeah, those are the only windows that were original, that still exist, are the stained glass windows.
They're gonna stay.
They are going to stay. All of the other windows have been replaced with vinyl windows.
This is the dimension from the face to the back.
right, but that's the sill you're talking about.
Yeah, and we're going back with a historic sill, correct.
Is that addition sort of similar to the house that's just next to it, south of it?
Yes, it is. Correct.
I love the names people come up with their houses.
Right,
We
Peachy
were
Key.
like, I saw on the Facebook page, it's like, what should I name my house?
House.
Peachy Keen, yeah.
Debt.
Is the entire backyard paved?
It is currently,
Oh, it already is.
yes.
Okay. I'm amazed you found a picture of the original steps.
Yeah, they had that, which I thought was really great.
It
And
was.
they want to bring it back to as close as possible to what it looked like.
See, these are turned.
Right. So the newel posts will get turned to as closely as possible to match that one, and so will the pickets be turned going down the stairs.
Okay.
Yes.
That's something that I applaud you on maintaining the turn pickets, even though they're allowed to be square, but these are the historic pickets.
Correct, which is what we want to bring it back to.
Exactly. Very good.
And that's also why they want to replace the brick steps, because the brick steps are
Correct.
a recent addition, and they want to take them back to the wood steps.
And that's really the way to do it.
Yeah, they really don't fit.
No, they don't. And it's got and plus the steps have the white grout,
The
which
white,
is
right.
just,
They just,
yeah.
Anyway, the only question I had was the exposure of your siding. Somewhere along, it's not in the book,
Well, I'd be,
We never established a standard.
right.
And
So
I'd be
as long as there's no standard, I can't say it has to be 7 inches. I know that,
No, the only place we established a dimensional standard is on the windows.
right,
That's it.
and I have found in town that when there is original siding, it's generally 6 inches, or narrower. It can be the double bevel.
5. The original white cedar siding is 5 with that.
Well, some of them have that double bevel, correct.
what is the dimension on the rest of the house?
It's vinyl, 6.
But
Yeah,
is it
It's
7
6.
inches?
I think it's 6,
6?
yeah.
Okay. So you're just matching that?
We're just matching it, and we do not want to go back with vinyl.
so from what I'm seeing, everything that you're doing as far as the addition, you can't see from the front of the house.
No, you cannot. The only thing you'll be able to see is the changes that we're making to the front porch.
God bless you, since we can't establish a size in our guidelines, I don't see that as a problem.
Okay, thank you.
You want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion, we approve the certificate of appropriateness.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
You too.
Claudine, while we do have you here, I'm sorry I wasn't listening to the whole conversation. Did you give us an update on the brick pavers and the condition of the current homeowners?
Yes, they are aware of it since last Friday, and we're just starting to work out a plan to deal with the overage.
She's matching.
I know, but we
I mentioned that there's a minor leak.
I thought it was 7 inches.
Yes, we can use the same application.
But I remember the number.
Was for the appeal. Are they planning on appealing?
That's a good thing.
So now I'll put a note on the calendar that I'll hear from you in
That's,
4 weeks'
that's what
time
they
with
cognitive test,
your proposed
numbers.
Yeah, I need to get out there in front of the road to measure it, because I know what is already there,
Yes.
so it's a matter of us seeing what we need to do to.
So it could be mitigation measures to drain.
That's all.
Thank you.
I have, Claudine, a quick question. Sorry, no. This is just pure interest. I saw on the second floor that you have to go through one bedroom to get to the other.
Yeah. That's
That's controversial.
Well,
I
that,
know the old houses did that.
they all, and this, all of these houses, I think there are 3 or 4 in a row that are almost identical, and they have the back stairs that go up into the back bedroom, which most people have maintained those stairs. And I've seen it in a lot of
That's where the help
houses. Right, exactly correct.
I mean, I'm
And it's
sorry,
a
I
very
have to
steep
say that.
stairs, exactly. And that's generally what worked that way.
I had that on my first house, and I was told that the real estate people can't count it as a separate bedroom if you have to go through one to get to the other. This is totally off the books.
It is, and can we gotta get back to the meeting. You're making.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
She runs a tight ship.
Whoa. Whoa.
Miss Alton, my goodness.
I see you got your boots on. Where's your whip?
I just have a small staff report for the month. We've done one minor exception approval at 223 Monroe Avenue, and that's it that I've got for you to this, I was gonna say this morning, but we're in the evening now, so sorry.
Can I ask about status of other projects?
You can ask, I don't know if I have the answers for you, but I can at least
But is
take
it
the list.
appropriate?
You can ask, and if I don't know the answers, I will jot it down and,
I should tell you.
get you an answer.
The Kellogg building.
They have an open building permit, which is valid until April 24th for roofing.
But they haven't.
They have an open building permit, and that's all I can go on is the building permit is open, and it is open until April 24th.
Did they get another contractor?
That's
Yeah.
the contractors who pulled the building permit,
Okay.
so.
And if nothing's done by April 20?
By April 24th, and we will come back with further enforcement actions. That it?
That's it.
Okay.
I didn't say it.
Oh, wait, you have something?
Libby looks like she's got something, that's
No,
why.
I just think, I was looking at that bedroom thing too, but it did look like it had separate upstairs, back stairs. I mean, that's what she said. So I mean, I think
You still have to go through one.
See, this is what's controversial
Thank you.
from here
Are we
to
done?
here.
Wait,
Just go away.
Excellent.
Yeah,
okay.
but this is the second,
Excuse me,
yeah.
Right.
Sure.
Mr. Hurd? Meeting is finished.
Motion to adjourn?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, and I were gone.